Hi, I'm Alex Grand. We're patent and IP legal consultant here at IP Atlas. If you've ever had a great idea and wondered how to protect it, you're not alone. For too long, getting a patent meant choosing between expensive lawyers or confusing do-it-yourself forms. That's why we built IP Atlas, to give inventors like you fast, affordable, professional patent protection powered by AI. Let me show you how it works.
You know how it is, that initial spark of a brilliant idea. It's exhilarating, right? But then, almost immediately, this cold fear creeps in. How do I protect this thing? How do I stop someone from just taking it? And for decades, the answer to that question has been a huge, you can't. At least, not easily. So, let's just cut to the chase. I'm talking to you. Have a brilliant idea percolating right now? Maybe it's a new piece of software, some cool gadget, or just a smarter way of doing things. Whatever it is, that idea, it's everything. It's your single most valuable asset. The big question is, how do you keep it safe?
Well, up until now, your options have been, let's be honest, pretty terrible. Choice number one, you go to a fancy law firm, you shell out 15 grand, maybe more, and then you just wait for months just to get the ball rolling. Or choice number two, you grab some $200 DIY form off the internet and just hope for the best. It's a total gamble, and frankly, it usually just offers a false sense of security.
Okay, so let's really dig into this, because this isn't just about picking between two bad options. This is what we call the innovator's dilemma, and it's the core reason why protecting a world-changing idea has felt, for most people, completely and utterly impossible. And at the very heart of this dilemma is something really powerful, a really human emotion, pure fear. It's that gut-wrenching feeling that you'll tell your co-founder, or you'll pitch that investor, or you'll finally launch your thing, and then bam, some giant company just swoops in and steals it. That fear? It can be absolutely paralyzing. Now here's where it gets really interesting. This personal struggle, this fear that so many creators feel, it's actually just a symptom of a much bigger problem. We're talking about a massive systemic failure. It's a whole market that's built on these two extremes, leaving this huge gaping hole right down the middle. And this chart? It just lays it out perfectly. I mean, look at that gap. On one side, you've got the super expensive, super hands-on elite law firms. On the other side, you've got the cheap, basically you're-on-your-own DIY forms. And that giant space in between, that missing middle, that's where pretty much every modern innovator, every startup founder, every indie hacker, that's where they live. And we're not talking about a niche issue here. This is a $2.2 billion global market. Think about that. A massive industry that has been built on this totally broken model. It's a system that's literally designed to shut out the very people it's supposed to be helping.
So, what's the result of all this? Well, it's this number, 788,000. That's how many patent applications are just sitting there, unexamined, in a backlog at the USPTO. And that's not just a statistic, you guys. That's a graveyard. It's a graveyard of stalled innovation, of businesses trapped in limbo. For a startup, a delay like that, it's not just an inconvenience. It can be a death sentence.
So it all boils down to this. The old system forces you into this brutal, impossible trade-off. You can have high quality, or you can have low cost. Pick one, because you absolutely could not have both. Well, until now.
And this, right here, is where our story takes a turn. This is where AI steps onto the scene. A brand new kind of tool is starting to pop up, something we're calling the AI digital attorney. And it's a piece of tech that's designed to do one thing, completely shatter that old broken trade-off. Okay, so what the heck is a digital attorney? Let's be super clear. This is not just another fill-in-the-blank online form. No way. This is an AI platform that actually reasons. It digs in to understand what your invention is, it analyzes everything else that's out there, and it gives you real venture-grade guidance. It's a massive leap beyond those old dumb pipe services that just move your information from one box to another without any actual intelligence.
So, how does it actually work? It's pretty cool, and it boils down to 4 simple steps. First, the AI just talks to you. It interviews you about your idea, in plain English. Then, it goes to work, scanning thousands upon thousands of existing patents to look for what's called prior art, basically to see if anyone's done something similar. Step 3, it drafts the actual, high-quality, professional-grade documents. And the end result, you can get this whole thing done and filed in a few hours, not weeks, not months, hours.
All right, get ready, because this is the real wow moment. Just look at the economics of this.
A traditional law firm, they're running at maybe a 40% gross margin. Something like a LegalZoom, a little better, maybe 50%. But an AI native platform, whoa. By swapping out all those expensive human hours for cheap compute power, it just crushes its cost of goods sold. That's the direct cost of actually doing the work. And it can operate at a mind-blowing 96% gross margin. That is just insane. And this quote right here, it just says it all. This is the fundamental shift. We are moving from labor-based economics, where everything is tied to how many hours a lawyer can bill, to compute-based economics, where the cost to get the job done is basically racing towards zero. So, a huge economic shift like this, it has massive implications. Let's talk about that. Let's look at what the future of protection looks like. What actually happens to the world of innovation when you suddenly tear down all the old barriers? Well, for starters, the actual face of invention completely changes. Suddenly, it's not just big corporations. It's the indie hacker coding away in their bedroom. It's that pre-seed startup that desperately needs to say patent pending to land their first investment. It's the hardware founder who's terrified of their idea getting ripped off by cheap knockoffs. It's literally anyone, anywhere with one great idea. Here's a great way to think about it. Stripe came along and just solved payments for startups. AWS solved infrastructure. Shopify solved e-commerce. This AI layer, it's here to solve protection. It really is the next essential piece in that business-in-a-box toolkit that every modern entrepreneur needs.
But you know what the craziest part is? The real, long-term, killer advantage? It's a data feedback loop. See, every single patent that gets drafted, every piece of feedback from the patent office, it all gets fed right back into the AI. So the AI gets smarter and better and faster with every single use. It creates this incredible compounding advantage, a data moat, that the old school law firms who don't have access to that data, they can't compete with it. There's no way for them to cross that moat. So, all of this leaves us with a pretty incredible question to ponder. This technology is essentially democratizing the most basic currency of innovation, the idea itself. So when the cost and the friction and the fear of protecting a great idea finally drops to near zero, what will we create next? What incredible things is humanity about to unlock?
Ready to take the next step? Visit us at ipatlas.co to get your free patentability assessment in minutes. Or if you'd like to talk it through, give me a call directly at 914-292-3366. Protect what you create. For AI-powered patent protection, turn to IP Atlas, where your ideas become your IP.